FDNY Commissioner Laura Kavanaugh apologized for the heckling of Attorney General Letitia James last week.
It happened at a department promotion ceremony at a church in Brooklyn last Thursday by pro-Trump members in that audience.
I'd like to introduce our next speaker, Attorney General Letitia James.
Oh, come on, we're in a house of God. First, simmer down. Thank you for getting it out of your system. First, I want to recognize Reverend A.R. Bernard in his absence. I want to recognize Monsignor Jamie. I want to recognize my pastor, Reverend Anthony L. Trufant of Emmanuel Baptist Church. We swear in Reverend Pam Holmes Saxton as chaplain of the FDNY. I want to thank Commissioner Kavanaugh and Chief Hodgins for that recognition. And today we are making history, swearing in our first African-American woman chaplain of FDNY. Some might even be booing me, but nonetheless, I pray for them. As to members of the FDNY, I congratulate all of you and look forward to working and serving with you all. God bless you and thank you.
Ms. Kavanaugh returned to that church yesterday to address the issue.
Not only is the fire department the greatest fire department in the world, it is also the most professional fire department in the world. And we let down that reputation on Thursday.
There may be some fallout for those firefighters who booed Letitia James. The FDNY confirms it's trying to figure out who jeered the Attorney General during a graduation ceremony last week. Many in the crowd also shouted Trump as she spoke.
The New York Post obtaining an email from the chief of the department saying that he recommends those who protested come forward so the commissioner, Laura Kavanaugh, won't have to, quote, hunt them down. A spokesperson pushing back on this, telling Fox News Digital no one is being hunted down. They want whoever broke department regulations. Wow.
It shows atrocious judgment that they would even bring Letitia James to speak to one of their events, because she is probably the most polarizing figure. She's weaponized her position as the Attorney General to go after a political opponent. And everyone knows the political opponent she's going after is very popular amongst people like firefighters, police officers. So they've really set themselves up for this horrendous judgment. They need to leave people alone. This idea that they should come forward and report themselves. I mean, come on, these are firefighters putting their lives on the line. Give them a break. They have a First Amendment right. Let them express it.
I wonder if it was Letitia James's office who made the call to the head of the fire department of New York, or was it the White House, Mark?
I would assume it was probably Letitia James's office. I mean, how the heck is she supposed to burn down our justice system if there's firefighters out there? So you got to go after them. But look, this Laura Kavanaugh, I think it's an important thing to recognize. She's the FDNY fire commander. She's not a firefighter. She's never been a firefighter. She was appointed by Eric Adams, so now she's in the role of supposedly having to hunt down these firefighters who, again, were just practicing their First Amendment right, while Letitia James, all the while, she's in the process of going after everyone except the real criminals. I mean, one of her latest battles is going after somebody who banned transgender athletes from participating in women's sports.
New York's Attorney General is demanding the Nassau County executive to rescind his order banning transgender athletes from competing in female sports. County Executive Bruce Blakeman signed the executive order last week banning transgender players from competing against women and girls at county-run facilities. Blakeman said that the ban is needed to be fair to biologically female athletes. Attorney General Tish James says the order is illegal, discriminatory, and transphobic. In response today, County Executive Blakeman said the executive order is legal and constitutional.
Memos have gone out. It's a witch hunt.
The union representing firefighters firing back. UFA President Andrew Ansbro says FDNY brass should have addressed the behavior in the moment. And it's what came after the ceremony, he says, has many firefighters now feeling uneasy.
Members were told that they would be hunted down. It would be better for them if they came forward and identified themselves. It would be better for them. I don't think anyone wants that to happen. I think if the chiefs want to come forward and admit they failed to supervise, they can start the line.
All right, so do you think that if they take action against the firefighters, that they would actually have a First Amendment claim that they are allowed to yell and scream at an event?
I dare them. Absolutely, they'd have a First Amendment right to yell and scream at the event. Look, their complaint is you don't have a right to take this event and make it political. The organizers made it political. What's Letitia James doing there but a political stunt? This is open to the public. Yeah, there are guys in uniform there. There are regular civilians there. Everyone has a right to express themselves at that moment. Booing a politician, if you can't do that as an American, then what it is to be an American has been redefined in some way that I don't recognize anymore.
So from your perspective, at any FDNY event, then members of the fire department can disrupt. Forget about fire department. It can be police department. It can be military. Whatever it is, they can disrupt the event, yelling and screaming, whatever it is they want. If it's political in nature, your perspective is that then it's covered by the First Amendment and it's protected.
I think you don't like this speech, so you're trying to put words in my mouth. What I'm saying, this event, this was a politicized event. And what were these firefighters doing there? They were supposed to be good little weeble guys sitting there looking cute for them. They were there at an event able to express themselves. Does that mean any old time? Yeah, during a funeral, could they start screaming and yelling and popping off booze? No, maybe not. But at this event, this particular event, in this particular way, absolutely, they had a right to do that. And I think that the way they're being treated is disgraceful. Well, I mean, these are firefighters.
Look, I happen to agree with you.
You're going to say they're going to come out and investigate them and track them down, turn yourself in for re-education, or we're coming after you?
Well, look,
man, I can't say in the time, place, and manner to say what I want to say about that wouldn't be on your show because I don't want to get you an FCC fine.
All right, well, look, there's no FCC in cable, so you're okay. But I will say this.
I'll show decorum.
I think it's a separate question for whether they should go after them. I think that they probably should let it go. They should probably just talk to them behind closed doors, say to them, look, please don't do that again, et cetera. That's a separate question from whether they can. And I think that this applies to any formal government-related promotion events, whatever it is. I don't care if it's left or right, yelling and screaming. The problem is what they're doing is shouting people down. And that's a problem, as far as I'm concerned, is when you're trying to prevent someone, which they were trying to do, prevent them from speaking, prevent them from being there. That's the cancel culture that applies on both sides. Final word.
I can assure you that if they had been chanting in support of her, this would not be happening. This was an event that they tried to politicize. They did not like the way that the firemen responded to that politicization. I think they have a First Amendment right to do that. And if the FDNY or the brass doesn't back off on them, I will absolutely make sure that I would represent any one of these firefighters for free. And, or I will bring them to other lawyers who will do it. And there is a phalanx of us ready to do so. So I dare you.